Hey everybody, it's Dr. World Cole. We're here live at our Functional Medicine Health Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where we see patients around the world via webcam and phone consultations, and locally in Pittsburgh. About half of our patients at this point are in other states and countries where we speak to them right as we're talking right now through the internet world. So for those of you joining us here for the first time, we've been doing these Facebook Lives at 2 p.m. EST. We made an exception last week and did it at 2 p.m. PST. But to talk about different health topics, and we kind of dive into the research and science and practical health tips for you to apply in your life. For those of you joining for the first time as well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My doctorate is from Southern California University of Health Sciences in Los Angeles, and my postdoctorate education and training is in functional medicine and clinical nutrition. I'm one of mindbodygreen.com's, one of the biggest and best health websites in the world. I'm one of the course instructors and wellness experts where I get to teach people around the world about functional medicine and about health. And again, like I said, we have a clinic here in Pittsburgh. We see patients around the world. We offer free webcam and phone health evaluations to talk about your unique health conditions, because everybody is different. The main difference is between functional medicine and mainstream medicine. For those of you who don't know, the big difference is that we realize we're all different. We're all created differently. So there's not a cookie cutter approach to getting healthy. And what works for one person may not work for you. So we customize health programs based on the individual. We also dig deeper to find the root issues of why people are going through what they're going through. Things like microbiome dysfunctions, gut dysfunctions, or toxicity and nutrient deficiencies, or hormonal imbalances, or food sensitivities, or stress levels, and how they interplay and are the pieces to the puzzle for people that are going through different health problems. We deal with people with health problems that are mainly the people that are on the autoimmune inflammation spectrum. They're dealing with chronic inflammatory health problems, which is mostly every health problem is inflammatory to some degree. People that are going through brain problems like anxiety, depression, and brain fog. People that are going through hormonal problems like adrenal fatigue and thyroid issues. Digestive problems like IBS, leaky gut syndrome, and candida overgrowth. These are the people we have a heart for. These are the people that we want to be a part of their journey to health, and we take that very seriously. So today we're going to talk all about vitamin D, guys. We're going to dig deep about vitamin D, why you want to have it boosted, why you want to make sure that your levels are optimal. And again, we run these labs for people around the world, and you also, through this information we're going to be talking about today, you can ask your doctor and make sure that your own levels are optimized. So first of all, let's back up a little bit. What is vitamin D? Vitamin D, we all kind of know, vaguely what it is, right? You've heard about it before, but why is it important? Well, every cell of your body, you're made up of trillions of cells, and every cell of your amazingly designed body needs vitamin D to thrive. No other hormone, which vitamin D is a sort of hormone type vitamin. It acts more like a hormone than a vitamin. No other hormone can claim that importance other than your thyroid hormone. So your vitamin D and thyroid hormone are like the king and queen of all hormones, and you need that to thrive. And your cells will not work well. Your health will not work well if you don't have optimal levels. It is called the sunshine vitamin because your body actually needs to get vitamin D from the sun, which we all kind of know that, right? But how does that work? When your body absorbs vitamin D, it uses cholesterol to convert that sunlight into vitamin D. And again, you need that to thrive. It is a fat-soluble vitamin. And there are other fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K2. That's kind of all the fat-soluble vitamins that you need. And for vitamin D specifically, it's really hard to get the amount that you need from food alone, even though we're going to talk about different foods that you want to focus on. But you're probably going to need, because we aren't outside enough, because most of us have inside jobs, we need to supplement and make sure our levels are optimal in addition to eating nutrient-dense foods with nutrient-dense fat-soluble vitamins. So why is it important to make sure that your vitamin D is optimal? Number one, it's an immune balancer. Autoimmune conditions are on the rise. There's over 100 defined autoimmune diseases known today, and another 40 in addition to that 100 that at least have an autoimmune component. It's when your immune system attacks certain parts of your body, causing inflammation at that tissue. Those are end-stage autoimmune problems. There are millions more that are somewhere on the autoimmune inflammation spectrum. Things like brain fog, anxiety, depression, things like fibromyalgia, things like heart disease and cancer, things like thyroid issues all have at least an autoimmune component, and at the very, very least, an inflammatory component. It also, vitamin D, it helps regulate that immune system to get the immune system nice and balanced. It also is a brain booster. Your brain is rich with vitamin D. It needs vitamin D to thrive. So people that are going through anxiety, depression, and brain fog, you want to make sure your vitamin D is optimized. Vitamin D also fights cancer. With 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 people dying from cancer today, getting a cancer sometime in their life, you have to make sure your vitamin D is optimized, especially if you have a family history of it. And it also is a fertility booster. So for people that are trying to conceive and people that have trouble conceiving, you want to make sure that your vitamin D is optimized. So there are many different health reasons why you want to make vitamin D to be optimized. So click in the comments section below for the full list. I went and arduously looked at all the medical literature and hyperlinked it in the articles. You can see all the cool science-based reasons of why you want to boost vitamin D. I also want to talk about how to raise your levels. First of all, when you get your blood test done to find out where your vitamin D is, you want to make sure that it's between 60 and 80 units. So for autoimmune cases, we typically want it to be on the higher level of that, closer to 80, but somewhere between 60 and 80. You're going to notice when you get your vitamin D levels tested that the ranges are going to vary, typically between 20 and 80. That's typically the range, even though that can vary from lab to lab, because those reference ranges are based on a statistical bell curve average of people who go to labs, so it's not always standardized. So we want to be in the optimal, not just the average of sick people who go to labs. We want to be at the best we can be, and making sure that your vitamin D is on the higher level of things is where we want you to be. So getting your blood tested every few months, especially if you're supplementing, is a good idea, because you don't want to make sure that you go too high. All of these things, hormones and vitamins, it's subject to the law, the Goldilocks principle. You don't want it too high, you don't want it too low, you just want it right. So make sure that you're working with your doctor to make sure that your levels are in the optimal range of 60 to 80. So, what are the best ways to raise your vitamin D? Number 1, make sure you're getting out in the sun. Depending on where you're at in relation to the equator and what time of the year it is, it's going to vary. And your own skin tone, it's going to vary. So you're going to want to range, I'd say, between 20 and 60 minutes in the sun when it's sunny. And they also have sun lamps, which is a good idea for the winter or cold or cloudy months. If you live in Pittsburgh or Seattle or other places where it's cloudy most time of the year, you can get sun lamps, which can mitigate. It's not going to be the same as the sun, but it's going to be a decent alternative during cloudy times of the year. Or if you have an inside job, a sun lamp can be a good idea. Also, using foods that are good and rich with vitamin D. So things like salmon, wild-caught salmon, Alaskan salmon, cod liver oil, mackerel. These are fat-soluble vitamins. So vitamin D is going to be in these healthy fats that are found in foods. Also, when you're looking at boosting your vitamin D, you want to look at synergy. The synergy of these fat-soluble vitamins. So if you're supplementing it, it's easy to go too high. So you want to make sure that you're balancing out with other fat-soluble vitamins like A and E and K2. You naturally get those other fat-soluble vitamins when you're eating it in the real food medicine form, like in fish, like wild-caught fatty fish. So if you're supplementing, you're going to want to get balanced levels of those other fat-soluble vitamins too. Fermented cod liver oil is another good option as well for people. So we're all different. We all need different amounts of it, and depends on where your baseline starting point is. But making sure that your vitamin D and other fat-soluble vitamins are optimized is essential for optimal health. So hopefully this is informational, not too long. Just some good practical tips to boost your vitamin D, especially this time of year, where for most of the world it is winter, maybe that's unfair to say most of the world. For my part of the world, it's winter, but I know it's not winter everywhere in the world. But wherever you're at, it doesn't really matter because we're living inside most of our lives. We want to make sure vitamin D is optimized. And so for more information about functional medicine, you can check out drwillcole.com. That's drwillcole.com. And we offer free health evaluations via webcam for people around the world. And we also have a brand new video class called Mastering Autoimmune Conditions and Inflammation with Functional Medicine. If you check the comment section below, we have the video class there for you to learn more cool, sciencey, practical health tips in your life. And are we offering a code? What are we saying here? Okay. Here's a secret, guys. This is a secret for every one of you who have watched this live stream up until this point. We're going to put a secret code for you to get money off the video class, which is already on sale. It's cheap, but you're going to get more off for watching this Facebook Live, and you can share it with your friends. We want to just get this information out for you, and it's the Mastering Autoimmune Conditions and Inflammation with Functional Medicine. Just use in the comment section below. You can use the coupon code to get 10% off of your video class, and there's cool discussion boards in there where you can ask me questions, your health questions. There's about 5 functional medicine ebooks, and there's hours of good functional medicine watching of the video whenever you want to. All right, guys, have a great time. I'll see you next week here on Facebook Live to learn more about health. See you later.